السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. الحمد لله حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيدا. يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك ولعظيم سلطانك. رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد نبيا ورسولا، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن سيدنا وعظيمنا وحبيبنا محمدا رسول الله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. نشهد أنه بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وجاهد في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم، شر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة في الدين ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. Brothers and sisters in Islam, we as believers, we believe the day of the judgment, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hold us responsible for the actions and statements that we are making in this life. So the day of the judgment, has two paths. When we get there, based on the actions and statements we do in this life, we'll decide on the destiny that we will end up in our life. But the life is not 1 hour timing or 2 hours timing, that we will not be deceived by any other external outsiders against the human being soul. Life of human being is enough that from the time that he comes to this life, that will become adult, will give him that pattern and rhythm as if that this life will continue forever. Besides that, what we see, the people are dying. Besides, when we see people are get sick, and they will get to some chronic diseases, some diseases that cannot be healed. But all those, still, we as a human being, we look at the things are different. Any individual sees himself or herself to be separate, and we will be deceived by all types of actions. That's why the judgment of any person, we never take a lesson. That we say, خُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ عَجُولًا. That the person, he was in the funeral, say, a month ago, or a week ago. Or sometimes he's right on the funeral, as if this is just a movie we are doing. We put this person and bury that person inside that, and we all come back, as if we just talk and laugh. So Allah, amazing human being, how we will be deceived. That's why for the believer, all those verses and statements of the Prophet ﷺ is telling us to take a pause, that this life is not a permanent thing. That you have seen the others, it's narrated in the Athar, I don't know what's the proof of the narration, how, but it's a very strong statement from the old prophets. Sulaiman, a man came to him one time and he asked him, I would like before I die, that Malak al-Maut, the death of the angel, to send me to notify me. A week ahead of time, a month, a day, whatever time, just before he comes to me to say it's time that you will be dead, to give me some notification. And then the man suddenly, the angel of death went to him. Not suddenly, after a while, he went to him and said, it's time for you to take your soul. And at that time, he was surprised. He asked Allah, that he asked Sulaiman. So the answer of the angel of death to Sulaiman was, this man, his neighbor from the right side, from the left side, from the front, from the back, all were dead. Didn't he take a notification from them that he is not extra, or he has no upper hand above them? If all surrounding you will be impacted, then you will be impacted as well. So if you don't take the lesson from that, then what will remain there for you to take a lesson? When we come to the end of the year, we all think that what we have earned, what we have done in this year, especially finance-wise, because compared for tax and all of this, some people expecting money, some people have to pay more taxes. All those are something, and that's planning for this year. So, is it really important for a believer as well, besides what we do for the life, to have at least, if you do not have permanent things, normally as a believer we do it during Ramadan, during Eid al-Fitr, Adha, all of those events. But it's also, we are part of this land, and then we live here. So the events of the year, of the end of the year, beginning of the year, all affect us as well. So it's important for the believer to take that opportunity and see it, and use it as well as for supporting his iman. A concept of al-muhasabah, self-accountability. This topic is really especially for those who are paying attention to purify their nafs, tazkiyat al-nufus. And it's a matter of to build the person, to be able to sustain the iman that what you have. At the end of the day, iman is not something physical that you have it, like you wear it, or a hat you put it on your head. Imam Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam always making the dua, Ya muqallib al-qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dini wa ta'ati. Or the one who's changing the hearts. The hearts are, it has no that sustainability to stay at one position all the time. It's changing. And that's a fact. That's what we mentioned in many khutbahs in the past, that the iman, you feel it. Sometimes it's very in a high pattern, curve is high. Sometimes you just feel it. Hardly make the fulfill your prayer. So what will be one reason to bring that person up to the level that the quality of the ibadah and the worshiping he does to be proper? Because any a'mal we do, when we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept, that we ask to make the rida, the acceptance with the salih al-a'mal. What action is good to be part of the good one that to be accepted by him. And that's what he wanted. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. So the self-accountability is one of those concepts throughout the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it clear. يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يده. So here in the day of the judgment, now you look at your stuff, what you have done in the life, and then you look at it. ويقول الكافر يا ليتني كنت ترابا اقرأ كتابك كفى بنفسك اليوم عليك حسيبا. In the day of the judgment, that they will give you your book and your CD or your flash drive or whatever that will be given to you. This is your life. Look at it. So that you won't complain. You won't say anything against people. We are talking about 1400 years ago. People, there were no books even to narrate stuff. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says here that it will come in a way that for us now it's easy to understand it. If you go home, someone will give you a video till you get home and say, here what you have done. It won't be surprising for you. You have seen, you see the traffic, you see all those videos on the street. So somebody, if taking a video of you till you get home, for you is not surprising, it's normal. That will happen in the day of the judgment. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد. For who you believe, get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ. Then the person look at what you are offering. لغد. غد يوم القيامة. That's what the غد is. That to the day of the judgment, what you will offer. What action, what statement that you are making. To look, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. And that's the concept. It's clear that when you hold yourself, review yourself, what you have done, and the plan to go forward. Now let's dive into this. There are certain scholars, they define this, what exactly the self-accountability is. Al-Mawardi, that he says the person to look at what he has done, wrong and right, and then distinct between them. Whatever is right, thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and whatever is wrong, to ask forgiveness and do repentance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Muhasabi is one of the top scholars in those ulama تزكية النفوس. He says that هي التفكير في جميع الأحوال قبل فعل وبعد. Now this is strong. This is not easy. So if you will be able to look at the action before you do it, or the statement before you say it, التثبيت قبل العمل, and to say, okay, hold on, before you do it, before you say this word, look at it. Is it right to say it? Is it good to say it? Is it Allah accepting this or not? 99 of us will fail. I am maybe exaggerating. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. But human being is always, we look at the back, we are more reactive than proactive. We look at the back after the action is done. This is even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestows His mercy on us to have that capability to look at the action after the disaster and the aftermath to see what you have done wrong. But the reality, the self-accountability should be before the action, as al-muhasib. Now Ibn Qayyim is defined differently. Ibn Qayyim says that you look at your rights and responsibilities. You have a policy from Allah. You have the guideline. Look at it. Because you have something to compare with, it's always easy where you are. And judge and to evaluate yourself. You don't need other person to evaluate. You could evaluate yourself toward the guides that you have. Haqq Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the right of Allah on you. Do you fulfill it? Do you do it right? And then you judge yourself before the day of the judgment comes. As Umar ibn Khattab says, حاسبوا أنفسكم قبل أن تحاسبوا وزنوا أعمالكم قبل أن تحاسبوا. You make the accounting for your actions before someone does it for you, before you stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You scale your actions before someone else does the scaling for you. And make that judgment, then you will be able to really tell exactly where you are. Imam Ahmad narrated the hadith from Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, الكيس من دان نفسه وعمل لما بعده. So, in this life, we are between the two paths. One path, which is unfortunately, majority of the people are taking this path. We live in the life in a random way. Al-hayat al-abathiyya. That we do not look at anything. We are living for the day we are in. We don't worry about what we have done, and we have no any agenda for in the future what we do right. We are the man of the hour. What will happen there, that's what the person enjoying his life. So, some will go to that path, and minority also comes in another path, and this is for believer, non-believer. They won't do that random one. So they take a pause and exactly what's their job. So, in the religion-wise, from the deen-wise, is that how they became, where they go, why they are here on this planet, and taking into consideration their actions, their wording, whatever they say. So those are the ones we take this path that we want to do. So al-kays, Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, al-kays al-aqil, the intellect. Who is the intellect? Man dana nafsah, man hasaba nafsah. This holds himself responsible and accounting of what he is doing. وعمل لما بعد الموت. And you look at his actions, what are these actions for? So you go outside, you help someone. So in your mind, this human person needs help. But the concept of the mercy is built in you to help that person. You could say to someone to show off. That you say, okay, I will do it. People, hey guys, look at me, what am I doing? But you could do it differently in a way for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And be sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you also in a higher rank among the people as well. But you tie your intention to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that this action I do is not because I own the stuff. I own what have been given. You see yourself to like someone who has been loaned. But the loan of that person is much less, your loan being given to you in a higher way. So if your loan is higher, you're given more wealth in this life, your payment will be higher. Your payment will be higher. But if you have less, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to you, so you are trying to make that responsibility of the day of the judgment less. How you look at this stuff, it will make big difference in this. I'll finish with the second chapter, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. من عمل صالحا فلنفسه ومن أساء فعليها وما ربك بظلام للعبيد. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. Brothers and sisters in Islam. So what's the consequence if we don't do the self-accountability in our life? Number one, تسهيل المعاصي. If the sins will be easy, you will lose the getting close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why in the verse it says, وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسٌ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ لِغَدٍ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ. Between the two things, both actions, the statement وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ. So that you will get close to Him. And when you get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the sins will be harder. But if you don't have that, you don't judge yourself what you are doing, the person could kill thousands of the people throughout the world. And then he doesn't care. For him, it's just one time hard to kill someone, or to commit zina, or to have drugs, and so on and so forth. After that, Shaitan will make you like a regular customer for that sin. But if you will be the one to hold yourself back, what you are doing, then say, no, that was wrong, I have to pull back, not to do this again, not to continue on that and see it as a right thing. That's one. Number two is استثقال الطاعات. When you don't hold yourself responsible for the actions and statements you say, then the ta'at, the obedience will be harder. You see, that's a burden. Because the ta'at, the core of the ta'at came إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر. The prayer, the main purpose of the prayer, prevents you from the wrong thing. If you feel the prayer is not preventing you, then there is a disconnect. The core of the prayer as a duty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that will make you a better person, to know what you are doing and to get close to Him. But if the salat, if the prayer does not prevent you, wallahi, there is a disconnect. You might feel next time, I don't know, how you could measure yourself. Polygraph, whatever you use to see what's in your mind, that when you are standing in front of Him. So that's why it will make you to the ta'at will be harder to do, and the ma'asi, the sins, will be easier to access. And both of those will take you away from this deed. So now, when it comes to the importance of this, what will be the importance of it? What we will get out of it? Number one is al-ittila' ala al-'ilm. Then I know my faults. If I hold responsible, if you do the accounting, you know how much you make, either you are good with what you are making or you try harder. Human being normally is not enough. It's always trying to go higher, which is normal. So at least you will know your faults, where things are. And based on that you make judgment. And Ibn Qayyim says, whoever من لم يطلع على عيب نفسه لم يمكنه إزالته. Very clear statement. He says whoever does not have ability, person has not that ability to look at his faults, then there is no way that you will remove them. If you don't know you have faults, then you won't remove them. So Mutrif says, لولا ما أعلم من نفسي لقليت الناس. If I would not have known what I have faults, wallahi, I was underestimating every person. I would not put any person higher than I look at them very badly. But when I look at myself with all of those faults, I look at the other people, I am worse than them. I always put the level of human in a different level than I'm not better than them. So it will adjust you in a way not to go beyond what's normal. You should stay in that line. Number two is al-isti'dad lil-rahim. We mentioned that the death has no any time to be given to you. Any time could come. How good it is that when you are ready for that, any time, you make your judgment before يوم يتذكر الإنسان ما سعى. You already are there. فأما من خاف مقام ربه ونهى النفس عن الهوى فإن الجنة هي المأوى. So you already trained that nafs in a way to be ready for that, because you're already open for you anytime that you go there. So that will make a huge difference when you do that. And you'll be able to see how well your future will end. يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يداه. Number 3 is it will create type of the shy towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You do certain actions, you look at it for yourself, wallahi this is, you deserve much more. The prayer I do, wallahi you deserve much more. The fasting you do, the khair you do, wallahi I am behind a lot from what you are, who you are. So create that shy in front of him, to feel him, that what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 4, الازدياد من العمل الصالح. That's very clear equation. In a way that when you have all of those, then it will encourage you to do more work. And they will get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then the higher level you will get al-khashyah wal-wara'. Al-wara' of the deen. You have different glasses, the eyeglasses that time you look at yourself. And you feel the iman that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to you. So what are the types? In a way that how people does this. Number 1, in general there are 3-4 types, but due to the time limited. 1 is al-muhasaba al-mutlaqa, it's open. This one, certain people, they have a schedule. Like they create a schedule for themselves. In the morning before he starts his work, after the morning prayer, he look at himself and he say, oh Allah, this is a new day. And this is what I'm planning to do. This is, he will look at the schedule ahead, exactly what he will be doing for that day. It's not random. He's not the man of the hour. He goes out and drive and wherever I think it's time, and he's not that. He will plan for what he will do in this day. The second is, at night, before he sleeps, he does 2 minutes, 3 minutes, judgment what he has done wrong, and then revise himself during what he has done actions during that day. And as Hassan al-Basri said, فَإِنْ فَعَلَ خَيْرًا فَأَمْضَاهُ, if he has done right, then sign on it, seal on it, and go. And if he has done wrong, then he will come and revise, make the tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not repeat. If you do this every night, imagine, you feel shame that if the same mistake you are doing it over and over. Why I do this? So that will give you more power in a way to continuously do that. Now, the second part, we call it al-muhasaba al-muqayyada, the control. The control has also few branches. Number 1, and this will be based on the action. Al-muhasaba qabla al-amal. You mentioned at the beginning of the khutbah. Before the action does it, when you come to the control, the filter of the people will be much less. Because now we are talking about individual action. The action that you do, before you do, you hold yourself responsible. Before you do, you say, is this right to do or not right? If it's right, you continue. If not, you will stop there not to do it. The second is al-muhasaba ba'da al-amal. We said that not many people can do this. The second is also is good when the action you do, you know what happened. You hold yourself responsible for the aftermath of that action you have done. Then you say, I should not have done. Then you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do repentance. You are not waiting for night to come, to be open. So you will wait. The action you are doing right there, you will hold your responsibility. Number 3 is, it comes to the taqsir al-ta'at. You go higher the level. Taqsir al-ta'at, in a way, after the prayer I do. Right after the prayer, you make the taslima, that you say, astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Right there, you know this prayer you have done, you focused or you didn't focus. You know it. Sometimes you are in the last tashahud, that you know, Allah, you don't remember how many rak'ahs you did. not the right person to worship you right. Forgive me. Promise next time I don't do this mistake. And he said, astaghfirullah. So that way, the prayer type that we do is completely different. It's not just as a burden we don't get out. We don't do it that way. تقصير الطاعات. You assess the ta'ah, the obedience you do. You do the ta'ah. You are not a non-believer. You are not a non-practiced Muslim. You do the ta'ah, but you look at the shortages. You find those shortages, make it right. That's number 3. Number 4, and then محاسبة على المعصية, even على المكاره, مكروهات. Something that's better not to do, but you have done it. You say, judge yourself on that. At the higher level, المحاسبة على المباحات. محاسبة على المباحات. People could judge themselves for the things which are allowable. Now, what does that mean? If it's allowable, why I should hold responsible myself for that? Youth. They play on the PlayStation and all of the Xbox, whatever nowadays are in the market. So, this is 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Is it haram? Is it halal? Nobody can say haram. Because you didn't commit haram, you're just, I don't know, it depends what you are doing. But let's imagine it's just some normal game. Killing the time. Killing the time is you are responsible for it. Matter of the halal and haram is not there, but even if it's mubah, it is wrong. Let's not put something people could argue on it. Let's do the play soccer or football. Nobody could say this is haram. So if you go to play the soccer for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, is it haram or halal? It's not haram. It's mubah. You could do it, but is it really the right way to do? It isn't worth it. To spend 5 hours, 6 hours on something that you do not respect your time. That's where the other level of the spending time what you do to be beneficial. And judge yourself on that action that you do is right. Before that, you stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the actions that what you are doing. Brothers and sisters in Islam, the actions, normally we have certain times. Friday prayer, end of the year, during the month of Ramadan, during the time of Salat al-Layl, all those times that you have been given, those are amnesty times given slots to you to get bonuses. Use those. Use those times when you are standing here in the khutbah. Don't spend time on checking the emails and texts and forget it. If you know it will happen to you, leave it in the car. Leave it in the car. Don't bring it. So you stay in the masjid, then focus. What you have done, what you are planning to do with your life, about this deen, your aqidah, your children, all those things, think about it. To make a different person. It comes for the morning prayer, at night, when you wake up. At night, especially the last portion of night, everybody is sleeping. Then 2 minutes, even if you don't pray, but 2 minutes before you go back to sleep. Just take a minute or two and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to sustain the iman that He has granted to you already. You are in the path, you have been granted the belief. Wallahi, it's so hard to get. So hard. You want to prove? Check with your children. How much time you spend that this iman to sustain? You have it. But don't let shaitan to take it away from you. Hold on it, but wallahi, it comes with a price. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وتنظر نفس ما قدمت. When you look at what comes for you in hereafter, then you look at what you are doing in this life. That day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward for those. Their muhasabah will be easier. But if you don't, then at that time we have to blame ourselves. As Shaitan says, فَلَا تَلُومُونِي وَلُومُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Don't blame me, blame yourself. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to sustain the iman in our heart. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive all of our sins what we have done. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us closer to Him. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us taqwa, inshallah. Wa sallu wa sallim ala nabiyyin karim qawli tabarak wa ta'ala. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات المسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها، أنت وليها ومولاها يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم لا تدع لنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته، ولا هما إلا فرجته، ولا ضالا إلا هديته، ولا مريضا إلا شفيته، ولا ميتا إلا غفرته، ولا دينا إلا قضيته، ولا حاجة هي لك رضا ولنا فيها صلاحا إلا قضيتها يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم ارحمنا وارحم والدينا، اللهم اغفر لنا واغفر لوالدينا ولمن له حق علينا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أصلح لنا ديننا الذي هو عصمة أمرنا، وأصلح لنا دنيانا التي فيها معاشنا، وأصلح لنا آخرتنا التي إليها معادنا، واجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير، واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. قوموا إلى صلاتكم ورحمة الله.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة، قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.